Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my Discord.py series. So today I'm going to be going over the technologies that we need for our bot. So since this is a Discord.py series, we're going to be using Python, right? So Python is a high-level programming language that is interpreted, meaning that it's going to be slower than most other compiled language like C++. But it's easier to write and it's easier to understand. So that's the pros of it, right? Next, we're going to be using Discord. We're running a Discord bot, so we need to have Discord. We need to have a Discord server where we're an admin of, and we also need to be able to make that bot. So to make that bot, we need to go to the development portal to be able to then make our bot and add our bot to our server. We're going to need an IDE. You can use either PyCharm, VS Code, or any of the other ones, even idle that Python comes with. For this series, I'm going to be using PyCharm. I'll show you guys how to use VS Code later, but we're mainly going to be using PyCharm. Next, we're going to need the Discord.py API. So this is the Python version of the Discord API. And this is where we'll write most of our code and where we can take some of the code that people wrote for us and we can use it there. Next, for our database, we're going to be using Firebase real-time storage data, right? So we want to be able to store some user data on the cloud, and the safest way and the easiest way I know how to do this is the Firebase. Firebase is a NoSQL database, meaning that you don't really have to have direct schemas or anything. They are based off files. Next, we're going to need to, so for the Firebase, we're going to need to have a Google account, and we also need to have another library, the Firebase-admin library. This will allow us to interact using our code to interact with the Firebase database. Next, we're going to be hosting our bot on Heroku. They give you a free hosting service, but if you're a student, you get a free hobby dyno, which will run your bot 24/7. Next, I'm going to be using Notion as a planning tool. This is where I'll plan most of my episodes and most of the things I need to say. So first, let's talk about Firebase. Firebase is a NoSQL database service that is where you can store your data. It's very easy. You just need to have a Google account and you can set up a free tier. This database is free, right? So if you sign up, you get a free tier, which is very generous. So the database that we're going to be using right now is the real-time database. So this database will allow us to store 1 GB of data, but since we're using mostly text-based like style of data, we're not even going to reach close to this. We're going to be using in the megabytes. We can also download 10 gigabytes of data per month, so we can access 10 gigabytes of data per month, which we're not going to use at all. We're downloading text-based data, so those are going to be in the kilobytes, right? So 1 megabyte is basically a book, so we don't really need that much data. But if our app does get really useful and it does get a lot of traffic, we can upgrade to the pay-as-you-go tier, the Blaze tier, which would then give us a gigabyte per $5. So we can get a gigabyte of data that we can store for every $5. We can also access another gigabyte for $1. And this is on top of the free tier. So once we bypass this free tier, we then get upgraded to this tier and we pay the difference. Finally, we're going to use Heroku as our hosting. So this is where we'll host our bot for 24/7. And if you're a student, you do get free hobby dyno, which will allow your bot to be run 24/7. It will also be up 24/7, as opposed to a free tier of Heroku, which will turn off occasionally if you're not using it. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.